show them, like, look, man, with the money you paid into this plus the face amount of the policy, you're going to lose $35,000 if you decide to do this. My thing is, though, when I'm walking to a home where there's not term or something, like I know there's like ADB rollover you can do and there's other things you can do, but I think I have a bit of a mental block in that when I walk in, I'm trying to figure out how can I confidently present the idea or that they need more coverage, but I also don't know really how to build a problem is the big thing.
So, are we talking about with ADB, without ADB?
Well, pretty much every scenario outside of just like a term conversion. Like, so I still haven't done too much with POS, but I
do you have a pen?
Yes. Let me get it.
Herchik gave me permission to go over this stuff, so I will.
Excellent.
Normally I can't. I don't want to put the cart before the horse when people are just getting started and like stick to the basics, which you should for sure stick to the basics. But with POS, it ends up being Zach Hart said he called it an art form, and I think that that's kind of what it is because it's everyone is going to be slightly different. There's not a script, but the concept is going to be the same. So the way I wrote all this, I talk about there's a few things I do. The first thing I do is say they've had a policy for a few years. First thing I do is say, guys, my name is Tad. I'm a director with American Income. And I'm different than everybody that's been out before. You've probably seen a few people over the years. They've probably all been different. The reason is they're part of the sales team. They travel to all different cities and everything like that. They're kind of on a rotation. So their job was to either enroll you in the original benefits through whatever group you got in, or to sell you more insurance. Go over new products and stuff like that. My job is completely different. It's to take care of what you're already paying for. So I'm on the service side of the business. Does that make sense? So that's the first thing I do. That's my introduction in every single house, unless they just got a policy like last year. Then I'll actually be like, normally policies don't come across my desk this fast. But, I was out here kind of going over some with policy owners, finalization processes and things like that because I'm a director, blah, blah, blah. So then the next question, most important question you'll probably ask is, so guys, let me ask you, do you remember what you have with us, or do you remember you just pay a bill every month? What do you think most everybody says?
No, I just pay the bill.
Yeah, that's a lot of members say that. But you guys do realize that this is the most important bill that you have, right? Because it's the one that makes sure all the other bills can continue to get paid when you don't come home from work tomorrow, and that income is cut off forever. That's why you have this. So it's the most important bill. I'm sure you'd agree, right? Get them to agree. Now it's not just a bill, but it's the most important bill that they have. So that's your first sale. Right? Your first sale is, I'm not here to sell you something. Your second sale is technically, this isn't just a bill. It's like the most important one you have, right? So then you're gonna basically build up their program. You're gonna go over their program with them, and I'm not gonna. You can get refs. You can go do PSR forms, contingent beneficiaries, things like that. It is. We're talking about closing the POS, right? So the actual pitch, you can, however you want to get the free. You guys can get referrals all day. You probably crush me in referrals. So you're gonna say, guys, you did a really great job setting this stuff up. Most all the members that got it set up around this time have very similar programs, just depending on their family and how everything is set up. But you guys have a really good program, very comprehensive. The first thing that you have is this freedom of choice form. Now you're going to resell the concepts, not the insurance. We're not getting into insurance yet.
Resell the concepts.
Resell the concepts. Freedom of choice, build that shit up. Then you're going to go into income protection, build that up, mortgage protection, education protection. Then you're going to say, guys, this isn't going to work in every circumstance because some people only have $5,000 coverage. They're older, right? But most, if they have like $100,000 of ADB and $10,000 of whole life or whatever, you can turn that over if you want.
No, I'm just making sure it's still recording.
Okay. So you're going to say, you want to basically like congratulate them and tell them that I can tell how much you care about your family just by the amount of coverage that you carry, right? So it may seem like a lot, but really, this is what they would need to make sure that their life could continue on, and they wouldn't have to go. She wouldn't have to become super mom and pick up 3 other jobs to make sure that the income stayed the same for the family, on top of child care and everything else. So I can tell how much you care just by how much coverage you. So now they're like, I love my program, right? Love it. This is the best. I spend a significant amount of time with that, and then I'll go into. So guys, I'm going to go over something with you and kind of teach you something real quick. That's my job as a director, is to make sure that you understand exactly how this policy works and that your family gets, what they paid for, what you've been paying for. So you guys have a great amount of coverage with us, right? We actually, so let's say say they had, we'll say 50,000 of ADB, 50K ADB, 10 whole life, and we'll say another 24 of renewable and convertible, right? So even if they didn't have the renewable convertible, because you can sell that all day because of and this you're gonna love it, because this is very similar to a term conversion. What I do.
Oh, okay.
So you have all together, guys. You have what is that? 60, 70, 80, 84,000, 84,000 of insurance with us. So guys, I can tell just how blah blah blah. I can tell you care about your family just by the amount of insurance you carry. We actually only recommend a minimum of 50,000 of permanent coverage. So I say you want to say permanent, right? You start that, plant that seed immediately. Okay. So guys, and I'll write these things down. So we only recommend a minimum of 50,000 of permanent insurance with us. So you actually have more than enough insurance. The reason that we recommend 50,000 is not because of a funeral costing $50,000 or anything like that. It's probably not gonna in our life ever hit $50,000, maybe towards the end of it, just with inflation and everything. But actually, the reason is because if you're at 50,000 or above, there's no way that you can pay us more than what we're gonna pay you in the end, pay your family in the end. If you're under that, there's a chance that you could, if you live full life expectancy, you could end up paying us more than what you pay in, which happens because, and I don't tell them this, but I mean, you could pretty much figure it out. If you had a $10,000 policy, even if you're paying $15 a month for it, if you only have 10,000 and you live to 86 years old, you're going to pay us 15 and we're going to pay you 10. So I'll show them, especially with this kind of thing, exactly what they're going to end up paying us if they don't do this. So you'll see. So we only recommend a minimum of $50,000 of insurance with us. So you guys actually have more insurance than we recommend having the permanent stuff. So I'm going to break this stuff down real quick for you. I'm going to teach you kind of what I've learned over my time there as the most important thing I've learned, and I'm going to teach it to you in minutes instead of years that it took me to learn this stuff. So there's 46 different types of life insurance. Pretty crazy. I'm not going to go over every single one with you. I probably couldn't even list them anymore. But just like a car, it's not all created equal, right? So I'm just making sure.
46 fucking different types of life insurance?
Yeah, between the universal, fixed rate variables, like there's tons of them out there. 20-year, I mean, you're counting like a 10-year term as one, a 10-year renewable and convertible term as another, a 20-year, fixed rate term drop off. Like there's 46 types. So I'm not going to go over all of them. I'm going to break them down into 2 main categories for you, okay? So the first category is permanent, and the second category is temporary. So anything that's temporary, anything through work, one of the main reasons the unions hire us is because we all have temporary insurance through work, and union members tend to have to pay the union dues to have it. So temporary coverage is based on your age. So it will eventually go up in cost and or expire at some point in your life. And if you're anything like me, you don't want to pay more for your insurance as you get older, and you certainly don't want it to expire, right?
Right.
So that's a sale right there. You get them to agree that they don't want their insurance to go up in cost, and they don't want it to expire ever. And if you leave it right like that, if you stop, say, temporary insurance will go up in cost and or expire at some point in your life, they're gonna get mad. They're gonna be like, well, do I have temporary insurance? What do I have? Like, and then you're on the defensive, like, oh shit, I better. So immediately make sure that after you say that sentence, follow it up with, and if you're anything like me, you want to make sure you don't want to pay more for your insurance as you get older, and you certainly don't want it to expire. Am I right? That way, now we're on the same page. Now we're buddies, right? Now we're not like in a defensive. Oh shit! Like half of your shit's temporary.
It's all temporary.
Great. So once you write this down, you're gonna say, okay. So the main difference here, guys, is temporary pays out if you die, and permanent pays out when you die. So if you die in an accident versus a heart attack, right? Or if you die during a certain number of years, right? If you die during your working years, your work insurance will pay out. If you die in an accident, this will pay out, blah, blah, blah. Permanent insurance is for when you die, right? So what's the chance that we're going to die eventually, Tim?
100%.
Pretty good, right? 100%. So that's why they can call it a guaranteed death benefit. It's the only way that they can call it a guaranteed death benefit, because no matter when, no matter how, no matter where you pass away, eventually, whenever that time comes, we're paying this out immediately. Temporary insurance only pays out about 3 to 4% of the time on average with people that have these types of policies. Now the reason, again, because most people, might not die in an accident versus a heart attack, might not die during a certain number of years, right? So the money that you pay into a temporary policy is just like every other insurance we have. You pay it straight to the company, and if something happens, they take care of it. Just like your car insurance, homeowners, all that. The money you pay into a permanent policy, completely different. Actually, it builds equity in your policy. So it's kind of like a savings account. It will build what they call in the industry cash value.
Right.
So let me ask you, do you know what your savings account interest rate is at the bank?
Probably like less than 0.5%.
Yeah, like it's really low. There's a reason you don't know the exact number, because it's probably never going to add up to anything. So this accumulates a cash value of 4.5% interest, right? So we didn't say it's exactly like a savings account. We said it's kind of like one. It is. If you have it, it's building cash value, right? It's better than putting it in your pocket. I didn't like say that it's the best investment of all time, not to anything like that. I'm just breaking it down in simplistic terms and a lot of this stuff is a combination of between Zach Hart, Simon Arias, and Deshong and myself. Like just took parts from each one and I made it my own.
Okay.
So, and you're going to do the same thing.
Right.
Some of this stuff might change, but this is just how I do it. So, the cash value builds 4.5%. So, if you look at it on a graph, because I'm kind of a visual person myself, easiest way for me to learn is by visual. So a permanent policy, whenever your age and your health is locked in, at that time, it is never going to go up. It's never going to change, and they can never take it away from you, even if your health changes or anything like that. It stays the same, and all that happens is the cash value gets to build inside of it. Okay? So a temporary policy means that if it was, say, a 10-year policy, and notice the entire freaking time, I've not said term. I've not said accidental. I've not said anything. I'm talking temporary versus permanent. I haven't said whole life. I ain't doing that. I'm saying a 10-year policy. So it's level for 10 years. It doesn't mean it expires in 10 years. It means it's level for 10 years. And after that 10 years of paying the exact same price, it goes up year after year after year. What do you think most people do when their policy starts to go up in cost every single year after they've been paying the same amount for 10 years?
Cancel it?
Yeah, that's what I would do. So you get them to agree that they would cancel this, right? So
you say, so if you guys are anything like me, I mean, I would probably cancel something like this. Would you? Or how do you just phrase it?
Yeah, I say, what do you think most people do when their policy starts to go up in cost every single year after they've been paying the same for 10 years? Then they're going to say, cancel it. Yeah, I would. So all that, and then I write this exactly how I'm doing it, so so that I'm kind of giving them little keys when I ask them a question that they don't have to think really hard. They're just like, oh shit, pretty simple. So all this money that you paid in, when you cancel it, or the member cancels it, who gets to keep all that money?
Insurance company.
Insurance company. This is how insurance companies get crazy rich, right? Because when they don't have to pay out this death claim, the profit that they make is 100% of those premiums. So they make 100% profit 96 to 97% of the time these policies are set up. The only reason anybody would ever pay these increases is if their health had changed and they know that they can't get insurance elsewhere. So now you're taking away the let's wait to do this, right? Because it's like, and then you just basically say the only reason anybody would ever pay these increases is because if their health had changed, they know that they can't get it elsewhere. They're kind of stuck because, guys, it's not your wallet that qualifies you for this. It's your age and your health. So even if they pay these increases, then they just basically pay extra money for it. It doesn't matter because if they pass away after the expiration date, which normally is between like 65 and 70, when you go on a fixed income, you retire, and it expires. Now they paid even more into it, but it expires and they're left with nothing because most people are dying out here, past that expiration date. And the insurance companies know that. Now, Tim, if I didn't explain any of this stuff to you, and all you knew was you had kids and you had a family to provide for and you knew that you needed life insurance because it's a risk to not have it, right? So if you knew nothing more than you need life insurance and you need this much, would you rather pay $1 for that life insurance or would you rather pay $2 for it?
$2.
You would pay $2 even if you didn't know any of this.
No, yeah.
So get them to so if you didn't know any of this and cover it up, you didn't know any of this, you just know you needed life insurance. Would you rather pay $2 for the same thing or would you rather pay $1 for it? $1 for it. Now if you knew that you were gonna instead and still you don't know anything I went over, but you knew instead of taking $1, the $1 that you would be paying for this, you're throwing it out the window of your car every day. The $2 here, you're going to put it in your pocket every day. You still don't know any of this, but what would you do?
$2 in my pocket.
Yeah, I'd put $2 in my pocket all day. I ain't throwing money out the window.
Right.
So that's exactly what this is. Temporary insurance, you basically have a stack of dollars. You start throwing them out the window. Eventually, they want more dollars to throw out the window. So then you got to throw $2. Then you got to throw $3. Well, when you're out of the money, now you don't have insurance. And now can you go back and get all that money? It's all flying around in the world somewhere. Some homeless guy picked it up probably. Whatever. But I'd rather put $2 in my pocket every day. And at the same time, it's going to build some cash value for me. So, guys, if you're still looking at this thing like a bill, you missed the whole point. So you got to say that. That is a freaking lockdown phrase. Guys, if you're looking at this like a bill, you missed the entire point. This is a bill. And you write bill under temporary. This is an investment into your family's financial future to make sure that no matter if you live your entire and go all the way through retirement and everything, that you got some money set aside as well as protecting your family. And if you die, no matter what, when you pass away, your family is taken care of. So, guys, again, if you're looking at this like a bill, you missed the whole point. This is an investment into your family's future. Now they're not even looking at it like a bill. The first sale was we want them to look at it like the most important bill. So we took it from here to here, and then we took it to here. Because nobody wants to increase a bill.
No.
People will put money up. A $500 investment ain't shit. No financial advisor is gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna start with $500 a month. No, they're gonna be like, we need at least like $2,000 a month to set aside. Whatever. When it's an investment for them, they get a benefit. When it's a bill for them, they just look at it the wrong way. So we got to change their thinking. So an investment. So now you start locking them down. So guys, obviously, which one would you want to protect your family with?
Oh, the investment.
That's right. Which one benefits the insurance company more, though?
The bill.
Temporary, right? So Guys, we specialize in permanent insurance because all of our union members, they have to pay all these union dues. Police and firefighters, they have great amount of coverage while they're working, but when they leave, retire, get laid off, it all goes away. So they contract us, and they've been doing so for 65 years now, over 65 years. And they have to renew these contracts every year, so there's a reason that they choose us over every other insurance company, right? It's not like they threw a dart at a wall of insurance companies and they all just landed on us. 30,000 groups didn't just throw a dart and they all landed on us. It's not by chance. It's because we're the best. So now they're pumped on permanent insurance. Now they hate temporary insurance. Doesn't matter if it's accidental, no matter what, right? So then you're gonna say, so guys, like I said before, really great job getting all this stuff up, getting this stuff set up. Now the concern we have as a company though is that your insurance, you have $84,000 of total insurance with us, but $64,000 of that is temporary. Of that $64,000, $50,000 is only going to pay out if you die accidental, so it's accidentally. Now I carry a lot of accident insurance because I drive a lot. You know, when you're younger, when you get this stuff set up, it's the right thing, right? Because sometimes insurance is like a car. There's maintenance over time. If you don't change your oil, you don't rotate your tires and everything, the car's probably going to break down, right? So your insurance can do the same thing. So $50,000 pays out if you die in an accident, and $24,000. Wait, what's 74,000? This is okay. So 74,000, 50,000 is accidental, 24,000. Is based on your age and is going to go up in cost and or expire at some point in your life. And if you're anything like me, this is your income protection. And I'll just say temporary life. So this is now accident insurance. I say, like, guys, so this is actually like accident insurance. This is a temporary life insurance. So this only pays out if you die in an accident. This will pay out if you die during a certain number of years, and you can pay the increases and everything. And then $10,000 of your policy is like the gold standard. It's the best of the best. It's never going to go up in cost, never going to change. Just basically putting money in your pocket. So guys, I don't think you need more insurance, right? So now I'm not telling them I'm selling you more insurance. I'm saying I don't think you need more insurance. I think we just need to lock in and protect what you already have. So I'm going to show you 3 options, and I'll let you pick one. But that way we know that no matter what, no matter how, no matter when, your family is going to be able to get the exact amount of money that you want them to get, no matter what. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the other power phrase I use a lot of the times is, guys, I tell all my members we have a 100% chance we're going to die, right? We want our insurance to pay out no matter how you die, right?
Yeah.
Now they're not. Now they don't want accidental because now they just told me so they don't want it to pay out only if they die in an accident, right? So then it's basically the close. Guys, I don't think you need more insurance. You don't need to buy more insurance, but we just need to lock in and protect what you already have to make sure that your family gets this money no matter what, no matter how, no matter when you die. So I'm going to show you 3 different options. I'm going to let you pick one. That's it. So then you show minimum.
Okay.
50,000, which means that we add 40, right? We got to add 40,000 because we only have 10,000 permanent. So you can convert this over, you can move this thing over, whatever.
Do you usually already have this stuff prepared before you walk in the house, or do you just do it on the fly while you're sitting?
Depends. If it's a term conversion, if there's term conversion in it, I'll do the math before because I don't want to take time looking at the shit and going back and forth. If it's just ADB, accidental,
all you have to do is look up the whole life prices.
Then just look at the whole price. That's all you're showing them. You're literally this is what it costs. I don't take away accidental unless they're like, well, how do we get rid of the accidental? It's the only way I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, well, I mean, you do what you want with it. I don't recommend getting rid of it because what if you die tomorrow in an accident and I'm the reason that your family, I recommended that you get rid of $50,000 of accident insurance, your family doesn't get, that doesn't make any sense. So I would never recommend that. It's going to expire anyway at 70. Right. So you guys can decide if you wanted to keep that or not, but let's make sure that we get it locked in first. Okay. And then whatever you do with it then, but for what you pay for it, makes no sense really to get rid of it. It's like paying pennies for dollars. So
right.
So now they don't even want to get rid of the accident insurance. Now they're sold on the whole damn thing that I want them to be sold on. So now they're just picking an option. So 50,000 is my first option I'm going to show them. So I'm going to show you guys to get to the minimum. of 50,000 minimum recommended, and with a minimum recommendation, like the 50,000, you can actually take paid up options down the road at 65 or 70. That way your cash value has accumulated enough and can take care of paying the policy for the rest of your life instead of having to pay the policy for the rest of your life. So I didn't say you gotta be at $50,000 in order to take this. I said at that recommendation, you will have the option. It's true, 100% true. Everything I play it like there's literally Department of Insurance sitting right next to me. Because if I don't want like this stuff, I would record somebody if they were coming in talking about life insurance because I know what it's about. I would record them. I'd sit right at my table. Like I'd go for it. Let me hear it. Because I don't want, like I'm not gonna legally screw myself out of an entire career by saying something that I shouldn't be saying. Right. So all I do is show 50,000. I'll show the total price. So say they were paying $50 for it. I'll show them 130. So this is basically the entire cost of their bill. Not what they're adding, not anything like that. I don't care about showing little numbers. Oh, okay. I'm not worried about showing a little number because what happens when you show this little number instead of showing 50, if I showed 80, right? Because it's a positive $80 added. Right. Then the question that they ask is, so is that 80 in addition to our bill or is that all together? Right. Now you're screwed because now you're like, well, now it's a sticker shock because now so technically it's 130. I don't know if we can afford it, but if I show them 130 and they're like, is that everything included? Like, yeah, that's your entire bill included. It's actually only a difference in about $80, which is like, and sometimes if it's $60, if it break it down to like $2 a day, blah, 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 you can do all that. So I'll show them this because I don't want to leave with less than $80 check. So 50, and then I'll show them they have altogether what? Set 84. So I'll show them 50, 75, and 84. Show them those three options, guys. Only about, and then once I have these options, whatever these are, and normally they'll be bigger. This will be, let's say, 200, and this will be 270, right? So, and then I'm gonna basically be like, so whichever one, guys, makes the most sense to you. Just know that like only about 5% of our members are in this range right here. So that it doesn't really matter, but if I were to recommend something, I wouldn't really recommend getting there because you can always increase it down the road if you decide to. I would stick between most of our members. The rest, 95% of them are in this category. So basically, whichever one makes the most sense to you, I'd say go with that one, and then I just let them look at it.
And they say, oh, I really like the second option here. Let's do that.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, if they're like, well, so then you got to kind of just sit back and read them because now they're thinking, and you can look right at them. You can kind of read the situation. If it sits there for a while, I don't mind the silence. Okay. You gotta be cool with the silence for a minute because they're thinking. They're waiting for you to, like, you can talk your way right the hell out of a deal if you're like, let's get it.
Let's do this.
Yeah, so you just sit back, you let them think, and then if it's like they're kind of talking like, 50, I mean, what would $50,000, I mean, 75, that would be better, it would be like a little bit more. Then I'm going to let them, because now they're picking 75. Mm-hmm. They're already, but if they're like, man, I don't know if we can... Man. And then I'm going to be like, guys, you know what? Why don't we just do this? I'm going to get you locked in here. And if you decide 6 months to a year down the road that you'd like to increase it to the 75 or the 84, we can do that. So all I need from you is your driver's license, and we'll get this all set up for you.
Okay.
Done.
Damn.
Easy. So there's no head back.
No, there's no head banging either.
No,
it's just the way
nothing
you
at all.
explain everything.
It'll work every time, and the only thing, like, you could still go over this stuff even if they have $5,000 a whole life. I probably won't. I'll probably won't go over this stuff in depth like I just did. If they have $5,000 a whole life and they're just old and they, so you guys probably set this up, take care of just funeral and final expenses. Are we your only? And the other thing you kind of want to, like, I would write it down just to throw it out in the beginning is. is sorry that just there's like 8,000 things coming through.
No, you're good.
I would say, are we your primary insurance or primary life insurance company, or do you have something like set up through work or through like a bundle package, or
like if they've just got their final expenses taken care of?
Yeah, so like if they have a low amount of coverage, right? 84,000 is probably what their life insurance is. They might have some shit through work. They might have an accidental policy at State Farm, whatever. I won't need to really worry about it anywhere from like. But if it's like 10, 15, I'm gonna be like, so guys, are we your primary life insurance company, or do you have like stuff set up elsewhere? Normally they'll be like, we got stuff set up elsewhere. Okay, great, that's awesome. So you set this up specifically to take care of funeral and final expenses, then I take it. And they'll say, yeah, okay. Great, so that's why you have this freedom of choice form. The big thing about this is, legally speaking, with all other life insurance, like you said, you have, and a lot of members do, which is really great. Obviously, you care about your family, that you have this stuff taken care of. Legally speaking, they can take up to 6 months to pay out a claim. So normally they take between 3 and 6 months. This and all of our policies, that freedom of choice allows it to take only 24 to 48 hours. So very quick payout. Or if her chick wants you to say under 10 days or whatever the hell his thing is. But 24 to 48 hours on average is what it is. So guys, we can pay out immediately. We pay out 24 to 48 hours. We have an A+ rating. That's the reason we can handle this form and nobody else can. Nobody else can handle that form. They're not allowed. It's copyrighted. They can't say freedom of choice. Right. People can do final expense insurance. Nobody else can handle this form though. Every insurance company knows about this form. So it's like, now they want this damn form instead of prepaying for their funeral and everything. So then I'm just going to be like, I'm going to break down their funeral. I'm going to be like, so guys, you did a really good job setting this up.
You're still talking about, like, originally when you're talking about what they have, this is the general area where you're talking about?
Yeah,
just
so if they have,
what they have.
This is like a huge percentage of the population is going to be in this type thing.
Right.
When you see seniors, though, they don't always have accident. If they do, doing this.
Right.
Forget about funeral, final, whatever. If they just have, and you can use, like, if it's
you're saying if they just have only final expenses to take.
Right, which I saw a lot of them that do. So it's just final expenses. So guys, you get this set up a great place. Most every member has it set up around there. I assume you want to be buried with how you set it up. And if they say, well, no, I think we want to be cremated. All right. If they say, yeah, they want to be buried, then great. Now they're screwed because I have a whole chart that shows. Do you have the chart? Cremation funeral chart? All right. Yeah, remind me later. I'll make copies of it for you.
Okay.
It's the easiest sale in the world, so everybody sets it up at $10,000. Luckily, you guys didn't prepay for the funeral and have to pay dollar for dollar or pay a monthly installment like a car, like down payment and everything. There was no down payment here. We're going to take care of your funeral. If you put $100 in this account, we're paying for your funeral tomorrow. If you put it in a savings account, we're paying for $100. You know, you're paying $100 towards your funeral. So you guys did a really good job of setting this up. Everybody wishes that they could set this up, but not everybody can qualify health-wise. So you guys obviously did a really great job here. You got into the same thing that all the members do. The one concern I do have, though, is as you get older, what happens, I see members, and because I finalize policies for people, and all that's saying is I see you when you're old, right? Finalize policy, retirement. So I see a lot of people start at 10,000, and then as they get older, say 10 years down the road, somebody passes away around them. They find out what the cost of the funeral was, and it was like 15,000, 14,000. So then they think to themselves, well, shoot, I got 10,000 set up. I mean, it's 15,000 now? Because nothing around us gets cheaper as we get older, right? If I came knocked on your door, and I always say, if I knocked on your door 20 years ago and told you, guys, the price of gas is going to go to $4 a gallon in the next 20 years. You'd probably think I was crazy, right? I mean, and I'd be like a little 10-year-old knocking on your door talking about gas prices. That's real crazy. And then they'll laugh, right? You just want to like say stupid shit like that to get them to laugh. But in the reality, you know, seems like the only thing that doesn't go up as we age and cost is we don't get paid more, right? We usually don't get paid more as we get older. In fact, we go on a fixed income and money gets tighter, right? So what happens is they know that it's 15,000 instead of 10, so they got to buy an extra 5,000 in insurance. Now 10 years later goes, 10 years more go, 10 years down the road from there. Now somebody paid 18,000 for their funeral. Well, shoot, I only got 15. Better buy 3. Well, now you're nickel and diming yourself to death, and that's where our retirees become. And I hear it sometimes, like, I'm insurance poor, right? I don't need anymore. I'm insurance poor. Well, that's because you bought the majority. You bought 10,000 here, and then you paid what you paid for 10,000 for 5,000 10 years down the road, and then 10 years down the road you paid for 3,000 what you paid for 10,000. You could have bought $30,000 of insurance, but you have 18 for the same. Like it's so we don't want that to happen. Obviously, you don't want to pay more for your insurance as you get older, right? You don't want to have to be buying more insurance because, let's face it, most people won't get healthier as they age either. So it might not even be an option down the road, right? So we need to lock you in with all the inflation included because we know that it's going to happen. It's not that people plan to fail; it's they fail to plan. Use that line every friggin' time when you're talking about. It's not that people plan to fail.
They fail to plan.
Yeah, it's not that people plan to fail. It's they fail to plan. Yeah, I know it's a lot of information. Hopefully you record it. And
Oh yeah. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna record it, and I'm probably gonna actually go back and build a script myself that I'll work from, and I'll include in bullet points each each crucial every tie down that you have, each question that you ask. I'll make sure that's noted. Okay, here.
And sometimes you won't use it, but you'll start as that's why they say it's an art form, because you're gonna start seeing what is the perfect power phrase. Have them set up like your ammo. This is a power phrase right here.
Setting them up, setting them, and just dropping them.
Yep. So if you say, so guys, I'm going to show you this funeral. So really, if you lived a life expectancy, which is 86, hopefully you live a lot longer than that. But hopefully you're the oldest living person if that's what you want. But at 86 years old, for women, that's on life expectancy. 78 for men. They can Google that shit.
Yeah.
That way they're like, oh, my family lived to 95. Well, then you should take into account a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, what if we only lived to 70? Then you set up more and more comes back to the family. It's a better option. It's a better deal for your family, actually.
Right.
But we got to take into account all the inflation that's included. So, guys, you're at 10. We don't want to nickel and dime you to death all the way over your life until you get to 20 to 22. And I'll just there's 2 columns. 20, down to the penny. So you can just be like, so, guys, I'm going to show you a few different options. And then if they don't go with one of these options, you're just going to reduce down a little bit. You're going to rebuttal one time, right? With whatever rebuttal, exactly. Whatever rebuttal you like. And then you're just going to, if they're like, okay, good, and then be assumptive again. And then you can drop it down. All right, well, we're going to have to get you a little bit closer at least. I mean, that way you don't have to pay all this stuff down the road, right?
Let's get you in at 40.
Yeah, let's get you, I'll just knock it down to 60. That's $2 a day. Guys, I don't, realistically, I don't want to take food off the table or anything like that, but realistically, I wouldn't feel comfortable, and I'm sure your family wouldn't feel comfortable doing anything less than this, just because the value's not there then, and you don't want to end up paying us more than what you're paying in. So that's kind of what we're trying to alleviate. So let's just lock this in. All I need is your driver's license. Then you can then be assumptive again and do that. But with this, I'm going to show them 20, 21, 22, right, or whatever the numbers are with the inflation included.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
And then they pick one.
Damn.
Cool?
Hey, man.
All right. Let all that absorb, and then we can do more later. If you want to do it, you can.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that and just absorb all that. So, yeah. Thanks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, the biggest thing is being able to do all this and then just being confident going in and just being so, which at this point I've just been like, all right, so you know what you have, and I'll go over, well, you got this, you've got this, well, what's the reason you got this, and I'll try to lead them at least somewhat, but then I get to the point where I'm like, well, shoot, how do I build the problem? And I'm like, the only recommend I have.
That's people that when I train people, I used to, and a lot of trainers, they hate to train on only POS, right? And a lot of trainees think it's a bad thing if they don't get to see the hard cards, right? I ran all POS for the end of the year last year. I run whatever. I don't care. I love hard cards. Hard cards are my bread and butter.
Really?
Bigger checks, right? But if I'm training somebody, what do you need to see me say the exact words off of the page for when you know what the exact words are? Probably better than I do, because I'm going to throw my style and everything on it when I'm in a hard card.
Right.
But if I'm training you, I'm not. I'm training you, I'm going to be like her chick. I'm going to be freaking straight to on the damn system 100%, clicking the damn videos.
Right.
But when I'm by myself, I ain't doing that. So I'm not gonna be like, like exactly perfect 100% if I'm not training somebody all the time on hard cards. So if I'm training on POS, it's worse to be trained on all hard cards and see that the system works. Just believe the system. Where there's Ferraris out there,
Yeah.
like it works. We wouldn't all just be like, yeah, it actually works. It's crazy. We're just like, let's make sure you don't write any business and we write it. That doesn't make any sense. So it does work, but to see all hard cards and to see no POS is a bad thing, right? To see more POS though is way better, because now I'm gonna pick shit up. I'm gonna watch this over and over and over and over and over again because there's no script for it. I already know the script for hard cards.
Yeah.
I hate when trainees say like, "Well, I haven't even seen a hard card yet." Why do you need to see a hard card? Do you want to sit down? Let's role play it. I'll do it right here. Grab your script and I'll read it right off to you, and we'll be able to. You can role play it. So just learn that shit. When you walk into a hard card, you say the same thing in every freaking house. Doesn't matter. Same exact thing. POS will be a little different. So why would you not want to see the POS? Would you rather be 100% set on hard cards as have seen the system in place 50,000 times, and then get a POS in your leads and be like, what the fuck do I do with this?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather see all that, and then I already know what to do with hard cards. Then it's just like I'm going to implement the system, and if it's not working, I'm going to hit my upline up and be like, hey, I said like all the exact same things. I even checked over the script when I got back into the car. I mean, I don't see where I messed up, but they said this. Like, how would you handle this? Then your upline is going to be like, yeah, I mean, it's just going to take a little bit more getting used to, like, seeing people and make it. It's not really what you say, it's how you say it. Here's what you're going to say next time. Be ready for it. And then you're going to walk into the next house, like, say the exact same thing, see that same scenario going, and then you're going to adjust because you now talk to your upline.
Right.
That's how you should, like,
do that.
Yeah.
My biggest problem is just overall just confidence, but also just obviously the knowledge acquisition and whatnot. I don't have a problem building rapport with people at all. The way that I talk to people and stuff like that is fine. Now,
I would help.
I do, thank you. I do really well with being able to get referrals and stuff. So the way that I talk to people is and I try to be very serious and very intense with the way that I talk. And so.
And in control. Confidence is control, though.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, master that, listen to that 1,000 times.
Okay.
I listen to Deshong's, still to this day, I've heard it 1,000 times. Listen to Deshong's workshop I have. I listen to Zach Hart's workshop I've had. I listen to Simon's, like all about temporary, all about term, all about just all about that, like the POS stuff. If I'm in a hard card, I'm
You're in the script.
I'm on the script, and I'll throw some extra fire on it. I'll listen to Coke Machine stuff, whatever. But for that, I listen to that stuff to this day. Every day in the field, I listen to every single one of those workshops 3 or 4 times. I don't need it. I could spit the stuff verbatim because I've heard it 1,000 times.
Right.
The more you hear it, then you're now confident. Because you, first of all, walking into that house, not knowing any of this shit, you know way more about insurance than they do.
Right.
They don't know shit about insurance. So you walk in. I'm now I'm a director, right?
Right.
Just call you service director, whatever you want to call it. I used to say service director because that's what Tiny says. I just say director. Whatever.
I'm a director in your area.
Director. It's our friggin'. It's my business. Your business.
That's true. I'm the director of my own
I'm a director of my own damn business.
Right.
So I'm a director. My job is not like what everybody else was to either enroll you, sell you more insurance, whatever. I'm here to take care of what you're already paying for. Wall is down. They ain't worried anymore, right?
Oh, okay.
So now you be confident, like whatever I tell you, you're listening to. Then it's just the lockdown techniques. What would you do here when you already know what they're gonna say?
That's like what David says on the phone. Like I'm sure you've been seeing a million times.
Right. Yeah. I'm actually not like that.
I'm on the service side.
That's why you can get into houses when other people get RD'd.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's because like you can get RD'd, and like I'll call RDs from agents that just use the script and stuff, and I'll call them and be like, hey, I don't know if you guys like, or I'll door knock them, and I'll be like, this is the letter that, like, I'm a director. They actually sent me all the way out from Cleveland to kind of take care of some of the, we have some new agents in training right now, and they're, maybe didn't explain something to you. I don't know. Did you make it to the meeting where you remember this thing that they sent out? I'll get right in the freaking house and I'll sell them. It's like, because your confidence that the program, and you got to think about it like this will increase your confidence like crazy. I swear it did for me at least. believe wholeheartedly. I used to stop when I parked in their driveway. I would say to myself, because Park said it in the first workshop I ever heard here, if you're the last person that these people talk to before tragedy strikes and their family has to lose everything, what are you going to do? How important is it that you get them a program?
Very important.
Very important. If you don't, you're the last person they talk to. Why did you not set it up? So that's part of the bigger picture, that you should be confident because you're helping them. You're not selling them something. It's a belief that you're helping them during the worst time in their life. If they say, no, I can't afford $130. Can't afford $130. Dude, I use the rebuttal all the time. Okay, I mean, I understand, man, money's tight, but let's think about it. You're still kind of looking at it like a bill, I think. And I understand you got to be able to pay for it, right? But don't look at it like a bill, guys. Because think about it like this. If I had a case with $50,000 in it, and you had $130 in your pocket, would you trade me money right now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Do you believe that $50,000 right now, we switch, would benefit your family more than that $130? Could it go to better use?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think that this will help you understand. If it would benefit your family more now than $130 would, why would it not benefit your family more during the worst time in their life, when you don't come home from work tomorrow and all the money stops coming in, all the paychecks stop coming in? How would it not benefit your family $50,000 more then? How would that not benefit your family more than the $50,000 now, or even better, the $130 now? How would $50,000 then not benefit your family more than the $130 now? So I think you're looking at it a little different, because if you die tomorrow, if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, if we all had a crystal ball, we'd buy $1 million of life insurance the day before we died. We don't know. But if you were to die tomorrow, would you rather have $130 in your pocket, or would you rather have $50,000 for the family?
$50,000 for the family. Right.
So, guys, let's go with this. Make your adjustment, guys. I don't know about you, but I pay $150 for my cable bill every month. You just start looking at your budget. Maybe you spend some $2 here at the gas station. $2. I don't even have cable, dude. But I don't want to tell them, what do you pay for your cable? That's a dick thing to do. Then now they hate you. Get out of my house. Oh, you're gonna tell me how to spend my money? Get out. Right. All right, cool. Believe me, it's happened to me. So I know, because all this shit has happened to me. I'm so proactive. I hate rebuttaling people. Right. I hate going back and forth. I ain't arguing to protect your family. It's your family. Right. Ain't my family. I can't care about your family more than you do. I'm out. Peace. Doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna go to the next person. I'm gonna protect their family. So. If you start looking at it a little different, your confidence will go up.
Oh yeah.
And the more you do it, it is honestly, the more you're uncomfortable, the more comfortable you get being uncomfortable. I still drive up to a house and I'm like, I go knock on this freaking door.
Yeah.
Oh, these people could be dicks. And but in my head I'm just like, dude, but I've seen 1,000 people.
Right.
And I had the same feeling before I walk into every one of them. It gets way easier. And then once you're on a roll, it don't matter. Then I'm walking up the doors
yeah, compared to when you first start.
Yeah, when you first start, it's but you gotta screw up, and people. The only reason that people aren't 100% of people aren't successful here is because they're not willing to do what's necessary and be uncomfortable to get themselves. You're not going to master shit by being comfortable. You're not going to sit here and look at you got to practice and practice, practice. The more people you see, now I know what people are going to say before they're going to say it, because I saw 500 other families just like that. And even if you're you could be retarded if you hear that's what Tony Robbins says. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've talked to, he literally names he's like 1 million of the world's leaders on top of 50, I've done in 50 million. I've heard these many stories. I could be diagnosed mentally retarded and still be able to say the exact things I'm saying, because I've heard it so many times. It's like it'll sink in. You'll eventually get it. It's so he's like, I would have to be, I don't even have to be smart. I've just seen it 1,000 times. I've seen it 1 billion times. It is how it is, So, So yeah, it's the belief, and that's the confidence. The more you see it, but dude, Brent always said it. Some people don't like the statement. I like it. It helped me a lot right in the beginning. Fake it till you make it. I'm gonna fake that I'm the freaking man. Because when I watch Tiny go in and do it, I'm like, that's the most simple thing in the world, dude. You close that person in 30 minutes. I don't even know how. Like, I feel like if you let me try to do that right now, I could do it because of how simple it looked for you to do.
Yeah, right.
And like, I was like, dude, I would have did that. I was like looking at it halfway through your friggin' explanation. Like, I want that. I want to do that. That's the one I want. Well, do I have that? Shit, well, get me that.
Give me that.
Like, I'm sold already. So if Tiny can do it, if all these other people can do, just walk in there like they don't know Tiny, they don't know Matt Parks, they don't know the top producers, they don't know. You're not even there to sell them anything, right? I ain't selling you anything. I don't even think you need to buy more insurance. So when they say, right, I'm gonna stop you, like before you even, like you get in there, they're like, I just want you to know, I hate that stupid. I just want you to know I'm not going to buy any more insurance. I don't want to be pressured, blah, blah, blah. I'm perfectly fine. I don't even know why you're saying that to me. Like, everybody that's been out before, their job is to do that. I'm a service director. My job is to take care of what you're already paying for. In fact, like, I don't even think you need more insurance, really. So that you did a good job. I'm going to try to help save you some money, actually. And then they just are fucking pumped. Save me money? Wow. You know why I'm going to save them money? Because if they pay for friggin' accident insurance, or they pay for term insurance, or they pay whatever, for all these years,
it's going to go away.
It's going away.
Right.
I'm going to save your family $50,000 of a death benefit. That's a lot of money. So when they say I'm not going to, or do a paid up option, whatever, we can go into paid up options after you master this stuff.
Right.
But it's like, I'm going to save you money. Well, I got to pay more to get. Okay, well then I guess you lose all the money that you're going to. We're good how it is. Believe me, it's actually better for us, and you already see that it is. It's better for us, so we can keep it just as it is. Here's what it would cost you to do it at 70, and then I'll show them that, and then they're not doing it. Now they're like, well, geez, it does. It's going to save me $200 to do it now. I'd pay $50 now to save $200 later all day. It's like, would you pay a little bit more for your car insurance if you knew that when you retired you didn't have to pay it anymore, but they would still take care of all your, like, if you get in a car wreck or anything after that? Yeah, absolutely. I'd double my car payment, my car insurance payment.
Right.
So it's like, it's that easy.
Man, when you get into a house and you have families that, doesn't happen often, but families that don't buy, like, is it most because you're just dealing with, like, stupid people that are just, like, want to be difficult just because?
I try not to let them not listen to me. They have to listen to me. Because I keep...
But the way you do it,
Involving them.
When you listen to that, I say your name a few times.
Tim, yeah, I mean,
Say your name.
and so
say
you're
your,
like,
say their name. So, like, if they're being like, I know, whatever. I'm like, I'll be like, I don't know what's wrong. Why are you so upset, Tim? I know probably the last thing you want to do is talk about insurance. You probably want to get out on the boat, whatever. I get it. I'm going to make it really quick for you because the last thing you want to be doing is talking about insurance, and not that I have anywhere better to go, but I do have like 12 other members I have to see today. So I'm going to make this real quick, but it is your life insurance. You guys, do you even remember what you have, or you remember you just pay the bill every month?
I just pay the bill.
Okay, so now they're talking to me, right? Then I'm gonna, that's like, the more I get that, I'm like, all right, so Tim, like, you understand this is the most important bill you have, right? Yeah. What would you do here? Yeah. Like, I'm literally getting them to interact with me the whole time, so now they're not paying attention. So it's either they didn't pay attention to you, because there's no way that somebody is going to listen to all what we just did and say, we're in a good spot where we are.
What?
Absolutely not. You have a great amount of insurance, not in a good spot. I'm going to say, I agree. It's not a problem yet, because if you die tomorrow, it'd probably be in an accident, you know. But let's not bank on dying in an accident.
Right.
Crazy. The other way that it'll happen is they absolutely cannot afford it. They are broke as shit. They tell me exactly what they pay for every bill that they have, and I can't figure out a way to save them money.
Make it okay.
I've had that a few times where they're literally like broke as hell.
They tell you, like, I want this program, I
Dude,
want this.
I really want to do this. Can I call you in like 6 months? I'm like, is money going to get better? Probably not. I mean, we hope it does. Hopefully you win the lottery tomorrow. I don't know. Did you buy a ticket? Like, if not, I mean, then it's only going to be more expensive and harder to qualify for down the road. So, like, let's not, what we need today and it's on sale, let's not wait till it goes off sale, you know, when we already know we need it. So those are like the only things. If they're not listening to you, or if they just believe they're good because they didn't want to listen to you. So they made a decision before you walked in. I ain't listening to this guy. He's going to try to sell me something. I'm going to break down a lot of those walls. I'm going to change their thinking, their psychology and everything.
Okay.
But at the same time, some people are the way they are. But you'll get to know exactly who those people are. I'll be in and out of that house in 15 minutes. I ain't even talking about selling them insurance because they're being like stupid. I'm going to roll their beneficiary right there. I'm just going to be like, okay, last thing I told you I'd be quick. I got to get to my next place. But before I leave, I'm going to finish this stuff up. I'm going to make some notes on here to finalize this stuff for you. That way, you know, if you ever need to deal with anything, you can always just give me a call. But do me a favor, because if I call your son here, who's your beneficiary, who lives 20 minutes down the road, if I call him, he's probably like me. I'm not going to pick up a phone number I don't know. And like, I don't want to make you have to like remember to talk to him down the, you know, a few days from now and tell him I'm going to give him a call and everything. I have to get a hold of him to make sure that this stuff, he knows how to claim the money that you've been paying on, right? I have to make sure he has a service file. He understands how this stuff works, right? So that's part of my job. I'm sure, like, it wasn't part of anybody's job before this, you know. So like, they're not going to be like, why didn't somebody else try to go out and sell them insurance? Did they drop off a service file? No. They didn't go over your policy with them. They probably tried to sell more insurance. They were on the sales side.
Oh, so you're sounding like you have to go over and explain your policy to him. So because he's a beneficiary, so they have to know. You're a beneficiary.
So guys, last year alone, $2 billion went unclaimed in the insurance industry. Just in Ohio, $2 billion. That's crazy, right? The reason is because family members sometimes don't even know who they're like, that they're even a beneficiary on a policy. If they know that they're a beneficiary, they don't know who the insurance is through. They don't know how to claim it, anything like that. It happens all the time in the industry. So we want to be at the bottom of that unclaimed funds list. We want to make sure that all of our members get what they deserve. There's a reason 30,000 groups choose us over everybody else. We take an extra step. So guys, part of my job as service director, and it wasn't anybody's job before this, so if they never made it out, like, don't be mad at them. They were just doing their job. My job, I have to at least get if like you guys live together, you and the missus here, so you guys understand. But what happened if something happened to you guys together? Like, even if he knows that you guys have insurance, he needs to know how to claim it. He needs to know all the ins and outs. It only take me 10-15 minutes, just like it took us to go over the stuff with him. But do me a favor, because he's not going to pick up my phone call, like, and I can leave him a million messages if you don't talk to him about it. Give him a call. We're going to let him know that he's a beneficiary on the policy. I have to make sure he accepts responsibility of being a beneficiary, and then I have to just set up a time that would work best for him in my crazy busy schedule as it is, for 15 minutes of his day. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night. While I'm out here, I'll do it. I'll drop it off to him. I'll go over it with him, make sure that he gets his stuff taken care of. I have to make sure he accepts responsibility. And guys, we actually donated $2,000 accidental death policy to all of the beneficiaries, just because it takes us 15 minutes out of their day. So, I mean, it's $2,000. I know it's not all the money in the world, but if something were to happen to him tomorrow, it would pay the mortgage for a few months, it would pay some bills for a few months, something like that. I'm sure you agree. So we actually donate that just because of the responsibility of being a beneficiary and the time it takes out of his day. So do me a favor, give him a call real quick while I set this up. If he picks up the phone, just introduce me. You can hand me the phone and I'll take it from there. If he doesn't, just let him know, like, leave him a message letting him know that a guy named Tad is going to get a hold of you about our life insurance.
Okay.
Make sure you answer his call. And then I'll be like, it's a 330 number. Like, tell him it's a 330 number.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Awesome.
Done. And then when I leave him a message, he's calling me right freaking back.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I was calling about my dad's life insurance. Yeah, man, so do you accept the responsibility of being a beneficiary? Yes. Perfect. Okay, well, he's got a good amount of insurance with us. I have to make sure that you understand how it works and get you copies of all the claim forms and everything, just in case something were to happen to, like, your mom first, or something were to happen to both of them in a common accident or something. So all I need from you, I don't need a lot of your time, I just need 15 minutes that we can, over the next 2 days, that would work good for you, that I can try to fit into my schedule here, and I'll drop the stuff off and I'll go over everything with you, and then when I get in that house, I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna go over all their stuff. That's all I'm doing, right?
Yeah,
All the way up to then, and then I'm gonna say, now guys, your dad, like, he has all his permanent stuff set up, his permanent insurance set up to make sure that you guys are taken care of whenever that time comes, right? He didn't know if you guys had any permanent insurance set up. He said that he knows that you have some pretty good stuff set up through work, or, you know, you might have some policy set up. He wanted to make sure that you had your permanent insurance set up. And so he sponsored you as beneficiary to receive this, not only this $2,000 accidental policy, but access to the same permanent programs to make sure that your family is taken care of whenever that time comes, even if you have insurance through work and everything. So, so he wanted to make sure that you guys have permanent insurance set up just like he did to make sure that your family's taken care of just like his is. Right? And then all you do is say, so he's paying around like $150 a month. Like, would you guys? I mean, you guys are way younger than him. You'd actually have more coverage than that. Would you be comfortable around $150 a month, or would you like to do something a little bit less?
Oh, and they say, well, maybe a little bit less, and then that's it.
And then I show them my options. I show them a whole freaking program. So guys, it's all based around hours wage. We can go off of that. That's kind of like what we do with most of the members. You know, they get an hour's wage in, and I'll show them 50 different options, 50 different things for it. Dude, it's all just like the more you do this shit, the more you learn. The more
You've been here for about 2 years?
2 years and 4 months, yeah.
2 years and 4 months. 'Cause you came in just before her check then, right? Yeah.
She was like, all right.
Yeah,
The
like,
program was $20.18. I'm like, we was both leaving. I had to get some oral swabs out of our car, so I just walked down to her car with her, and she took the oral swab in the car. She drives a brand new Beamer. It's white with cream interior, tinted windows, all that stuff. Her car was so hard.
And she said she could afford $20 a month. People try to say,
I still wrote her up. I was like, I'm not letting you.
right.
I told her, I was like, I'm not about to let you leave here without getting this policy.
Don't go breaking that record.
You didn't have no insurance.
Don't go breaking that record.
I was like,